My BF's cousin wanted advice on making it in the entertainment industry, so I gave it to her straight. Now, I'm being told I'm rude and discouraging. So, before I even start, I want to say I am not a hater. I love the arts so much. I wanted to be an actress when I was a kid as well, until I saw what it takes. My father has been in the entertainment industry for 30 years. He has been a comedian, producer, television writer, actor, anything under the sun. My father has done it. As a child, I have helped my father a lot, acting in audition tapes, watching his shows, helping him promote, reading his TV scripts, listening to his comedy bits. Me and my whole family even did an episode on the Discovery Channel. I have done and seen it all. My father is now a really great comedian. He's not world famous, but he has some videos that went viral and appeared on a few TV shows. However, he has shown me what it takes to become an actor. That is, to become viral multiple times. Agents have turned down my dad because he doesn't have 50,000 to 100,000 followers. It was heartbreaking because my dad had this amazing rapport, but since he is not internet famous, he gets cast aside. Don't get me wrong, he makes pretty decent money now, but nowhere near Kevin Hart or Gabriel Iglesias. Now I saw my boyfriend's little cousin and she was talking about how she is bouncing around careers. She is thinking about either becoming a musician, actress, or animator. Her cousin went to Juilliard and has been on Broadway. She is a huge hero for her. I told her honestly, as a person whose family has been in the entertainment industry, I would say do animation. Nowadays they are looking for people to go viral, and it can be very difficult to become an actress unless you are a child actor. I also explained how people are getting turned down if they don't have at least 100,000 followers. To add to this, his cousin does not have a rapport. She has done a few musicals for her high school, but that is about it. She has not taken acting classes, she has not participated in an acting program, nor does she have an internet following. She is only 16, but I was just trying to show her the reality. Out of all that, I believed animation would be a wonderful segue into the entertainment industry. However, she still wants to try to get into an art school and build an acting rapport through her university. I said, alright, you do what's best. I suggest that you try to find an acting program while you're still this young. My boyfriend then tells me, why did you tell her that? That's not true. I was like, excuse me? Yes, they are. That's literally why my dad has been turned down from several roles, along with hundreds of other actresses. He said, no, you can go to a university and build connections and become a theater actress that way. Being an influencer isn't acting. That's not what they're looking for. I responded, that's exactly what they are looking for. They want a fan base to buy tickets to their movies and shows. That's why they want people with a following. After that, I left. I was not about to have him mansplain to me a subject of which he has no fucking experience. I wasn't trying to be rude to her. I thought I was just trying to give her the best advice. Was I truly discouraging? Now for the comments. Commenter, my BA is in speech theater. I went to school with people who now have Grammys, Oscars, and Emmys. I know others with nominations in them all. I know people who made it to Broadway, know a guy who is a really big deal in the Marvel universe, and know a ton of award-winning writers. None of this means anything in terms of return on investment for a degree. And even if you get all those accolades, you can still be living in a box under the overpass. But you can't convince a young artist the hard facts. You warned her. Now leave it alone. Smile and nod at ever musing of the dream. If you have the time, buy a ticket to her show. Post a congratulations. When the inevitable comes, just say I told you so to yourself. Original poster. I have been trying to explain this. Tell me, as a fellow person in the entertainment industry, do you believe that there was some truth to what I am saying? And that my partner is being extremely naive? Commenter, I left the industry almost as soon as I began because there is so much truth to what you are saying. I was in acting and music a very long time ago, before influencing was a thing. I vividly remember the rumors going around about Puff before he became Diddy, and to never be alone with him, don't sign to him, etc. Within the writing world, which I dabble in occasionally now, some publishers want you to have a large following to publish your book. Then you go through all of this to make pennies on the dollar, because pay is not the same. Pennies for millions of music streams. Pennies for millions of views on streaming services. Writing on a show now condensed to a few weeks versus months, to the point you don't even qualify for health insurance because you either don't work enough or didn't make it. She would do better by doing exactly what you said, creating her own platform and going viral. She would at least keep 100% of the profits versus pennies she has to split 5 ways. Commenter, question, what do you think rapport means? Original poster, it's like building a name, presence, brand, or gaining experience. Commenter, I think you meant repertoire rather than rapport? Original poster, yes, thank you, that was the word. Commenter, NW, I teach theater to youth. The most difficult is knowing that even if a kid has that IT factor, their chances are slim. If that child can dance, sing, play an instrument, then it goes up. Add in them knowing more languages, being adorable or cute or very pretty. Bonus points if they are visibly a child of color. Extra bonus points if they can actually act. The industry is tough as nails. Parents want the best for their kids, and I tell them to ensure the child gets an education with a degree to fall back on. There is no guarantee. Never, ever go to school, work hard and fingers crossed. I shot several pilots, was an understudy for a huge musical that came into my city. But my break never came. I am grateful for the time I have had trying for it professionally. I now work more in community theater and enjoy knowing I always have a place here. You did your best. The most difficult is trying to explain to someone how hard it actually is. Especially when they have no clue, and the fact that if they fall into the pretty category they will hear how easy it is. I have a student right now, she got an agent. Has done some commercials, modeling. She has talent and an IT factor. Her agent wanted her in LA for pilot season, which I agreed with. But she flakes out too much, so much so, her father has told her post-secondary school would be better until she matures enough and realizes that it is a business that needs to be worked on every single day, a lifestyle to live in. I also agree with him. She currently has no drive right now other than it can be fun for her. She says she wants it, but. And that is another thing. Your drive has to be there. Every day. Every moment you have to want to continue going, like your dad does. You did your best original poster. It is best to leave it alone. Unless the cousin seeks you out for assistance, guidance, or support, just leave it in the past. If your BF brings it up, simply state you have spoken from a place of wisdom, of observance and knowing. Continue to move forward. All the best. Commenter Natalie Merchant was talking about how people don't want to book her because she doesn't have a large social media following. We're talking about one of the most talented singers. Commenter YNW. Lots of people react poorly to being told that their dream or their family member dream is harder to attain than they want to believe. Your boyfriend, and possibly his cousin, didn't want to hear the truth, and lashed out because of it. They're wanting to substitute real reality for the reality that's in their heads, which says the cousin is about to be the next huge hit with almost no work. If I were you, I'd wait a bit to cool down. Then write him an email explaining briefly how the industry works, and how you know that's how it works, and then explaining that his mansplaining was both wrong, insulting, and hurtful, and that you want an apology. Say you're sorry that the reality of show business is harsh, but that's reality, and him throwing a tantrum isn't going to change that. Hopefully your boyfriend will pull his head out of his ass. If not, then you'll have to figure out how to navigate a larger problem with your guys' relationship. Good luck. Commenter. I got a scholarship for theater. One of my professors pointed out the average salary for theater majors after graduation was $6,000. Most of us changed majors. I know one guy who didn't, moved to NYC, got a job at Starbucks. Saw him in a J.G. Wentworth commercial a few years ago. Commenter. I work in entertainment law. Everything that came out of your mouth was the God's honest truth, and though you can never spare the determined, otherwise LA would run out of waitresses, you can mentally prepare her for life in that industry. If it was hard for me to just be a paper pusher behind the talent, I can only imagine how world-crushingly hard it is to be the actual person in the spotlight. I don't even wish it upon my children or the children of my enemies. Do us all a favor, be a dentist or something. Original poster. Dude, you should read all the comments telling me about how you don't need a media following from people who have zero experience in the industry. It made me laugh so hard. Commenter. It takes a near Ivy League degree, a social presence, a near-perfect LSAT and GPA, judicial clerkships and nepotism connects just to be an agent, and that's just being the mirror that writes the contracts. I got in as a clever diversity hire with work ethic, and I know they know I'm a DEI pick. What you all do is crazy. And the speed in which you can go hot to not, especially with the breakneck velocity of Reddit criticism, is wild. Couldn't be me. Stardom can't be wished upon. But then again, stranger shit has happened in Hollywood and Broadway. Commenter. I recently missed out on 2 projects. Why? BC. The kids of 2 famous people got my job instead. Why? BC. The kids of famous people tend to always go into wardrobe. And instead of being a paid hired position like it should be, they are using them as interns. And they can afford to be interns. BC. Their parents are super famous actors. Also, lots of people are currently struggling after the last 2 strikes. They are losing their health insurance. BC. They did not work enough hours. BC. of them. And we still don't know if IATSE will come to an agreement or there will be strikes. The industry is about to get a lot harder. Commenter. People need to learn their own lessons. People rarely react to the reality of situations with grace and patience. She's also young. Add youth into the mix and honestly, nothing you may say will sink in now. It's all about making sure our young ones have soft places to land when they fall. You're not wrong with your message and the info guidance you gave. You've said your piece. Now drop it. It's her life to live, not yours. We can guide and advise, but we can't choose for others. Update same post. One day later the argument made the house a bit heated for a while. Usually, I come back and try to work things out or have a more understanding perspective. However, this time I couldn't. I just felt so disrespected that he would try to mansplain to me a subject he knows nothing about. Eventually, he came back and apologized to me. He said, "I am so sorry, I don't even know why I tried to argue with you. I truly don't have any experience in this field, and what I did amounted to nothing." I said, "Listen, I understand there are a lot of things I don't know about. That's why I always try to listen and understand when you have a different opinion. But this is the one thing that I know for a fact. Why can't you just take my word for it this one time? It makes me feel like you can't trust what I tell you." He said, "I know, and I was thinking about that as well. You almost always engage with me in these kinds of conversations, and it should not have been hard for me just to say you're right because I am your partner. I shouldn't be making you feel like you don't know anything because you know way more than I ever could. I guess I'm just used to always talking that way with my family and you. I am very sorry, but I am going to work on it." So, I decided to forgive him. However, he owes me boba today, smiley face. Also, lastly, the word was not rapport, it was repertoire.